Good day everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new Android TV box review. And yes, I know we haven't had one of these for quite some time. So today we have a new one from Zidoo called the H6 Pro. For pricing, this costs somewhere around $90, but like anything else, it really depends where you buy it from. Now for specs, we have the all-winner H6 CPU. This is a quad-core CPU clocked at 1.8 GHz. We have 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of internal storage, and the device is running Android 7. Even though we only have about 11 gigs of free storage, you can easily install an SD card as internal storage, and that means that you can expand the internal storage at any time. Starting with a very quick unboxing, so this comes in a good looking box. On the front we see a picture of the device and the model name, and turning the box around we are gonna see some of the specifications. Inside we are gonna find the device itself. We are also gonna find the power adapter, and this is the same power adapter that we've seen in the past for Zidoo devices. There is also an HDMI cable, a user manual, and the remote control. Now, the remote control, it's very interesting. So this one is not like all the other remote controls that we've seen for previous TV boxes. So this one is actually using Bluetooth to communicate with the TV box. And that means that you don't have to point this at the TV box every time you want to use it. So it actually works every single time, no matter how it's pointed, which is great. Now, they could have done this better. This could have been an air mouse, but it's not. But overall, it's much better than all the other remote controls that I've seen from other TV boxes in the past. But leaving the remote control aside, keep in mind that Zidoo TV boxes can actually be controlled right from your smartphone through an app, so a very convenient way. And moving on to the TV box itself, well, this is one of the smallest and better looking TV boxes that I've seen, so whenever you get this in your hand, it feels like a premium phone, if that makes any sense. The frame and the bottom are made out of metal, and the top it's made out of shiny plastic, and wherever you place this, it just looks good. On the front we have something that looks like a display, however that's not a display, it's just a black cover. We have 3 USB ports, and one of those is a USB 3, and we also have a slot for an SD card. And moving on to the back, there we have the AV out, the HDMI port, the network adapter port, optical audio, and lastly the port for the power adapter. I've tried DTS sound and Dolby Digital sound with Kodi 17.4, and I'm very happy to say that they both work very well. Now keep in mind that you're gonna have to go to settings, advanced settings, and then turn on the audio pass-through, otherwise it's not gonna work. Since I haven't tried any device with the all-winner H6 CPU before, I was kind of curious to see what scores we would get on the Antutu benchmark, the Geekbench 4 and the iStorm Extreme. And the scores that I got are just above the ones that we get to the Amlogic S912, so not that big of a difference. For those of you that are wondering, this doesn't come with root access from the factory, and unfortunately you're not gonna be able to watch Netflix in HD based on the digital rights management information that we get. Moving on to connectivity, we have Bluetooth 4.1, and that one works great, and we also have dual band Wi-Fi. Now unfortunately I'm having some issues with my router, and I was not able to check this out on the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi band. However, I did try it over a wired connection and over the 5 GHz Wi-Fi band, and the speeds that I got are among the best that I've seen for any device. Moving on to gaming performance, I played GTA San Andreas at the maximum settings, and even though the TV box did quite well, there are a couple of skipped frames here and there, but I'm gonna let you guys watch for a few seconds.
Hey, move over! You non-driving lane hopping chump! I hope you like hospitals! You almost ran me over! Come and get me, punk! This ain't gonna be pretty. Look where you going!
What is your problem?
And we are moving on to online streaming apps. The first app that I tried was the YouTube app, and this is the YouTube app that comes pre-installed with the device. The maximum resolution that I was able to select was 1080p at 60 frames per second. Now keep in mind that my TV only supports 1080p, so I'm not sure if this could support 4K videos on YouTube. However, all the videos that I watched at 1080p did seem to work very well. Next on our list was Kodi 17.4, so this device doesn't come pre-installed with Kodi. However, you can easily install Kodi by going to the Play Store and just installing it from there, and this way you can get updates for Kodi as well, so very simple to do so. I haven't had any issues with Kodi crashing whenever being used, and all the streams that I tried watching did seem to go on very well as well. And our next stop is the launcher. So the launcher that comes pre-installed on the H6 looks very different, and it reminds me a lot of the launcher that I've seen on the Nvidia Shield or the Xiaomi Mi Box, the one that had the Android OS. The launcher is somewhat customizable, but not that much, and it's basically made so you can actually use it to the remote control that comes with this TV box. I was also happy to see that they included the navigation bar at the bottom of the screen, and of course the notification tab on top, because that makes things so much easier. Now, there is something that I haven't seen for any other TV box in the past, and that's the ability to use two apps in the same time on the same screen. So that's basically the feature that's been available on Android 7, the split screen feature. Unfortunately, this doesn't work as good as it works on a smartphone, and hopefully in the future it can be improved through some software updates, but basically the TV box kind of slows down when you have two apps running in the same time on the same screen. I've also tried multitasking, and that one works good up to a point, because keep in mind that we only have 2 gigs of RAM, and filling up 2 gigs of RAM it's done very quickly, so it works good up to a certain point. As for the Play Store, I was able to search and install basically every single app that I wanted, so no issues with the Play Store either. So yes, this is among the best TV boxes that I've tried in the past few months. Well, now that you have a better idea about its performance, I want to start recording the screen. I want to show the settings app quickly, and I also want to show some video files so you can see which video files work good and which video files don't. So the settings app, it's divided in this quick settings menu that we are seeing right now. So we have network on top there, we have display right here, we have sound, and we have other. Now, if you want to turn on the sound, so pass-through sound, you actually have to go through the advanced settings, because if you make any changes in here, nothing happens. So you'd have to go to other, here you'd go to advanced settings, and right here. And then you'd go to, let me scroll down, to sound, and if you make changes in here, it actually works. Otherwise, it's not going to work from the quick settings menu for some reason. So we'll go back. So here at network, you can connect to the Wi-Fi or through a cable. At Bluetooth, you can set up any Bluetooth controller or anything like that. A display, you can change the screen resolution, you can change the wallpaper, and we have a couple of wallpapers here, so you can select this one if you want. At sound, again, as I said, nothing happens. And at other, here we can see the languages that are available, and I'm just gonna scroll through them quickly. Let me go back here. So definitely a lot of languages available here. Hopefully you can see the one that you may be interested in. And if we go to about here, we can see the model name, which is the H6 Pro, and the RAM, which is 2 gigs, and of course the Android version is Android 7. Alright, so I have my USB stick plugged in here, and I have the same files that I always try, and I tried some of these already. So we're gonna start with the first one here. So let's press resume. So this one works quite good, but I find it a bit too dark. I'm not sure if it's just me, but it seems a bit darker than usual. But again, maybe it's just me. So this one does work good. We'll move to the next one. This is the next one right here. And this one seems to do okay as well. We'll just give it a second. So we'll stop this one and we'll move to the next one. Let's see what we have here. We have a 4K file at 59 frames per second now. So let's see how well this one does. So not totally smooth, as you can probably see, at least at the beginning there it wasn't that smooth. But now it looks like it's gotten better. So no, not totally smooth, as you can probably see right here. So let's skip forward a bit. So not the best that I've seen for sure for this file here. So we'll stop this one and we'll move to the next one. This is another 4K file. And this one seems to do much better than the previous one. Let's skip forward a bit and see what happens if we skip forward. So still better than the previous one, but not totally perfect. So we'll stop this one. Let's go to a 720p file now. So we'll skip forward. So of course no issues with the 720p file. So as you can probably see, it does do quite well. So we'll stop this one as well. And let's move to the next one. This is another 720p file. And we'll skip towards the end for this one. And this one seems to be doing quite good as well. So let's stop this one and move to the next one. This one is a 1080p file. And again, we'll skip towards the end here. And this one also seems to do quite good. So we're gonna stop this one and move to the next one. This is an old 4K file that I recorded with my phone. And this one seems to do okay. So only the one at 60 frames per second, well, yeah, I think it does okay. But the one at 60 frames per second wasn't that great. Now this file, I don't believe it's gonna play. We'll try anyways, but I don't believe that it's gonna play. So no, as I was expecting, it's not playing. And actually, yeah, Kodi actually crashed from that file. So let's see if we can close this. No, like the entire TV box like froze. So yeah, don't play that file on this TV box. So we'll try that once again. And going back to movies here and the USB stick. And let's try one more. And this is the last one that I'm gonna try. And this one seems to do good as well. So basically the only file that didn't work out good was that 4K file at 60 frames per second. And that one actually does better on the TV boxes with Logic S912. Other than that, they all seem to work good. Well, except for the one that doesn't play on pretty much any TV box. And it's time to conclude this video. So we finally have a TV box that I can actually recommend. Sure, there is room for improvement, but Zidoo usually sends frequent updates, so I'm not concerned, and I'm sure that this will get better with time. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, press that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Good day everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back to a new Android TV box review. And yes, I know we haven't had one of these for quite some time. So today we have a new one from Zidoo called the H6 Pro. For pricing, this costs somewhere around $90, but like anything else, it really depends where you buy it from. Now for specs, we have the all-winner H6 CPU. This is a quad-core CPU clocked at 1.8 GHz. We have 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB of internal storage, and the device is running Android 7. Even though we only have about 11 gigs of free storage, you can easily install an SD card as internal storage, and that means that you can expand the internal storage at any time. Starting with a very quick unboxing, so this comes in a good looking box. On the front we see a picture of the device and the model name, and turning the box around we are gonna see some of the specifications. Inside we are gonna find the device itself. We are also gonna find the power adapter, and this is the same power adapter that we've seen in the past for Zidoo devices. There is also an HDMI cable, a user manual, and the remote control. Now the remote control, it's very interesting. So this one is not like all the other remote controls that we've seen for previous TV boxes. So this one is actually using Bluetooth to communicate with the TV box, and that means that you don't